Morning watchers, Tuesday the 4th of July, and never got a video out last week. People were asking if we were okay. We were okay, we're just extremely busy and it's difficult to get anything done. Yesterday, morning watchers, 8 o'clock on Monday morning, start of another week, and spin you around. We've got the dumper, we've got another burial all dug out, our excavator. So what we do here, this is a single depth cemetery. Some cemeteries you bury people 2 or 3 deep, 10 foot, 8 foot, 6 foot, 4 foot. Due to the ground conditions here, they decided years ago that we would only do single depth, because once you get down to 5 foot it's solid rock. So basically what we do is we have got, if you look on there, a 4 foot grave. We always allow 4 inches extra either side than the coffin measurement. We allow 4 inches at the width, and that just allows for space to slip it in nicely, if that sounds correct. So yeah, this is a good little truck we've got here. We've had this, paid about 2 grand, I think they're about 3 grand, but we've had this 10 years. It only gets used in here, maybe gets used 10 times a year. Then we dump our soil in the soil storage area at the top. It gets emptied once a year. So we've got this burial to do this morning. I'm without van because my van's had to go off elsewhere, so I've got a knapsack. I'm going to do a bit of weed killing in here, and then look, a rare outing for the Demon International. And the plan with the water bowser today is we're going to go and do some bush shelters that we get paid to power wash. So we've got that all filled up with the water, and we've got our bag of tricks and everything on there. So that will be the plan once the funeral's finished. So it's just a straightforward blowout and a bit of a power wash off with the tool. So we had a burial to sort out, and then I also had the power washer on because I had some bus stands to do, I had some play areas to do. So while I was at the cemetery, obviously I was filling up with water for the bush shelters. Went and did them, came back to do the burial, nipped off again to do the play areas, and poof, before you know it, it's home time. So that was yesterday. Today we're on to this. So Tuesday morning, and what it is, these areas here, you get cut with a tractor and gangs, really short. and we just go around the edge with the little zero turn, getting the edges and round the trees. So just anything the big gear can't get. So first job of the day. So what I do to cut down on costs and time is I get a subcontractor in with tractor and gangs. So it's a huge wide machine run on cylinders, and he cuts all the big areas. What it means is I go around the edge with the little mower. I then go around and strim. However, because it's so dry, I go around the edge at the moment with that, and there's no strimming because the ground's brown around the trees, the ground's brown on the edges. So it meant today that you've actually saved a little bit of time, and you're just having to go around with the mower. A couple areas you strim, but you're saving a lot of time on what you would usually. It would be sort of another hour's strimming on them village greens. So that was first job of today. I'm going now to do some power brush work on an area where trees been dropping a lot of one of our commercial sites, the back area. It's a little car park. The tarmac's rough, to be honest. It's shot to bits, it wants replacing, but we're going to do the best we can where the trees been dropping lots of sort of stuff in dry conditions, and then there's a bit of moss. So we're going to clean this car park for them. I'll show you a bit of that when we get there. But I put a poll up on 5 platforms on Saturday or Sunday, just asking what people's typical working weeks were. And there are people who work 30-40 hours a week, but the majority of people are doing through the summer 50, 60, 70, 80, up to one I saw was doing 90. Now this includes what I asked for. I didn't ask for a debate on work-life balance. I asked for what time are people leaving the house, what time they're getting back in, paperwork if they're getting back in, quotes, everything like that all in. And like I say, there was 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, so hats off to you guys. I've been there, I know what it's like. I've gone back there temporarily, but that is, it is brutal, it's hard, and you like I say, yes, I know some people work hard through the summer and then have the winter off and stuff, but other people are building businesses like I used to be when I was working 90 hours a week. So you're pushing, but it is tough. So like I say, hats off to you all. But the reason I put it up was I'm going back this year. I had a plan at the start of the year, it didn't work. I had someone leaving me due to sort of ill health. So what it means is there's nobody around in the area at the moment. I advertised on Indeed. I did get a guy who was going to come on board as a subcontractor, but he's been on board for a couple of weeks, and he's decided that he wants to just go it alone and do. He's won a couple of jobs recently, so he's decided that he just wants to go it alone instead, which is a shame, because I think, like I say, I think I could have helped his business in the long term rather than him just looking at the short term with the jobs. But good luck to him if it works out. So that's sort of where we are with that. What it means is I'm going to have to go up to 60 hours a week for the next 14 weeks till, with commercial sites, most of them finish end of October. You do 14 cuts. A lot of my commercial sites keep going with pruning and everything, but the grass cutting ones, where the bulk of my time's spent, that drops off. So that's why I'm saying 14 weeks of hard work, and then it'll revert back to sort of 40 hours, 45, 50 hours a week. So I'm going up to, I think I worked it out at 60, 62 hours. That's to cover for my man who's left. And you're saying to yourself, well, you're already doing 50, how come you're only doing an extra 12 hours? And I'll explain. You pay someone 40 hours a week, sort of 10 of them are sort of travelling around, then they have the lunch, and then they're loading and unloading the van and everything. So all in all, you're probably getting 20 hours a week out of them. I'm going at it with the different machines and things, so I've got it down to working out that I probably need to find that sort of 12 to 14 hours roughly. So that's the plan. I'm going to have to work hard. I'm going to have to go back to putting hours in again, and probably I've worked it out 6 days a week, because I don't want to kill myself with long shifts. Can't do that anymore. So I'm going to work 6 days a week, and then I'm going to have to bang the odd Sunday in every so often just to catch up. And then I need to come up with a plan for my vacation that I've got booked in as well, but I think I have a backup plan for that. So like I say, it's going to be a hectic 14 weeks. I'll be taking them off as we go. It's not a huge amount of time. What it does mean is that the revenue that I'm saving is something else that it gives an incentive. So I know with that 14 weeks I can look to store that money and come up with a plan of what I want to buy. So while I'm doing that 14 weeks, once I've come up with what I want to buy, it's an incentive and it's a goal. As everybody knows, I save up to pay for things and then I buy them. So this way, I've got this thing in, it's like a, so I've got this thing ahead of me that's like something that you can say, right, that's something I'm aiming at there. And you know that you're putting these hours in for the benefit of that. So that's the plan. That's where we're going to be with that, and we're going to be better off next year because we'll have some new equipment. But in the short term, like I say, we're going to have to work a little bit harder and just grin and bear it, really. I could advertise again, try and get someone, but like I say, that in Indeed, which is the go-to place. I mean, I got 125 lunatics who'd never done the trade, even though you asked them. And then I got 5 people, I think, who had done it and like were experienced and everything with it. So, like I say, that's where we are. My plan didn't work out this year, which, in hindsight, if I'd have known, like I say, obviously you don't know what's happening, but if this guy had last year, if I knew he was going to be ill, then I would have got rid of more work last year and we'd have scaled back a bit more. But like I say, you don't always know what's going to happen, and obviously he probably didn't know what was going to happen. So that's where we are. Going to be tanking on with a bit of hard work and a few hard weeks, but a benefit ahead because we've got new gear coming. So that's it for now. On to the power brushing. Trees just to get rid of the moss. Finished job. These bits here we'll get a moss treatment next, just to in a couple of weeks time, just to keep it bare. But big difference. And there's the well worn parts of the car park that need replacing. On to the next wild one. I'm just going to knock this into shape in the car park to improve the view, because as cars come around they can't see where they're going. So let's get cracking. As you can see, I keep my car parks clean and tip top of weeds, but unfortunately when hedges grow as fast as corners, all these weeds has been hiding under the hedges. So we're going to shoot round now. We're going to spray these weeds off just round the edges and around the car park where we haven't been able to spray in the past. But it's another one opened up, visibility improved, and I can guarantee we'll be back in 4 to 6 weeks, because at the moment this is a bit early to be pruning, but it had put on that much growth. So another one ticked off. Little bag of rubbish for the 86. So same site as the pruning. Football field we maintain. Oh, bag of Rigby Taylor. I wonder where that came from. Put this rope round, black anti-vandal paint on it, which I'm going to put some signs up, because otherwise the kids just pull it down. So if they touch this time, they ain't going to like it. And just basically top up where it sinks in the summer, in the winter. Top up a bit there where it's worn, a bit here. Bit of the good stuff. Sports field renovation. Rigby Taylor. I chuck a bit of that on, so just waiting to bring another barrow of soil over, and that should do the job, and then just compact and level. And that is the finished job. 2 or 3 weeks, little canny. Next job, we cut the grass on this church, and they've asked us to spray the 2-foot high weeds in the car park, so, and up the paths, so we'll get them done. Like I say, that grass is something we do. That's due next Monday, so a little bit of growth, things starting to green up again rather than cutting dust. So that is Tuesday down. Just done another little weed killing job there just to finish off, and I lost a little bit of time today. I had to go and deal with a complaint from a customer. Well, 2 complaints actually. One, I got some fencing done a couple of weeks ago by a contractor, and one of the fences is in the wrong place, so I need to address that. And the other one being some stripping and a bin mist in a cemetery, which I've just had a look at there. So that is to sort out. But apart from that, that's, like I say, that's another hectic day done. Got another busy day tomorrow. I'm going back now to load up so that we're all ready to go the next day. I prefer to be loaded the night before if I can, and it's straight in on the morning, boots on, trousers on, and away we go to site. I'll be heading to Stockton tomorrow, which is about 20-25 minutes from my house, with going at 6 o'clock. From my unit. So we'll be going to Stockton, and we've got 6 sites to service tomorrow. We've got a site that gets a bit of pruning, a bit of weed killing. Then we drop onto students and do 2 student jobs. Once the students have finished, we drop onto 2 commercial, and then we finish on the way back. We come past Darlington, which is about 15 minutes from my house, but it's from my unit, sorry, but it's on the way back. And I catch a village hall, which is grass cutting and a bit of weed killing. So that's tomorrow, another hectic day. When I say 6 sites, some of the sites are 2 hours, and some of the sites are sort of an hour and a half. So it depends. It depends how things go as to how the day fits. And sometimes when you're on site, someone asks you to do a little bit extra. Sometimes the grass is short, so that works where you can get it done a bit faster, and you might be able to do the extras in with the time and not charge. So if I'm on a job for 2 hours and I manage to get my usual done in an hour and a half, and someone asked me to do something, I would do that for free. If I was maxed out, the grass was grown, and it was 2 hours plus half an hour, then I'd say to them, look, I'd say that's going to be an extra. So that's how I work. It's trying to provide a good service, and trying to give a bit back to the customer at times. So that is, like I say, that is Wednesday. Tuesday's finished apart from loading up. So we shall catch you tomorrow. Morning watchers, Wednesday, and the first thing I noticed this morning in the bathroom at 5 o'clock was I had to switch the lights on. That means we're going back over. That means the dark's setting in, even though it's the height of summer. So that's a bad start. Opened up 5:30 this morning, and the stump grinder's gone out on a journey for a 2-day hire. So that's better out than sat in my unit not earning. So a friend of mine just took that for a 2-day hire. So currently 6 o'clock, and I am heading to Middlesbrough today. 6 sites today, 12 hours, like I say, 5:30, and we'll be finished at 5:30. So 12-hour shift today from starting. No paperwork or anything tonight. I think I mentioned earlier in the video about hours stacking up and things. I did all my invoices on Monday night when I got in from work. So what it meant was Monday was a 5:30 start, and I think I wrapped the invoices up by 8:30. I did have tea in there, but it's still a 15-hour shift. So that's the plan today. 6 sites. So here we are, first job. We've been here before. Basically, I go around and we kill all the car parks before all the staff come in. Just makes it so much easier. And then what I'll do is I'll do a couple of the shrub areas each visit, so they always look tidy. So that will be the plan of action this morning. But like I say, it's with sites like this, you keep on top of it. It always looks the part, and that's what we intend to do today. Just arrived at our first student block. We don't pick the litter, but we do if it's on the grass, just to make our job easier. But basically a couple areas there to cut, and then the stander comes out for the big job round the corner. couple of areas at a time rather than trying to do the whole side at once and everything out of hand. This way everything looks tidy all the time. So, always a tricky access one, as you saw there, but this is the next student block we're on today. Grassed area finished, and all I'm doing now is spot spraying. It may not look like a lot of weeds, but it is easier to spot spray each time than wait for a build up where there's hundreds of weeds everywhere and you're spraying 2-foot high weeds. So I prefer to do it once a month, and by doing it once a month you've never got much to spray, and it just keeps a nice tidy site. You get to see all sorts on your sites. On to the next one, and it's commercial, and this one is just a straightforward grass cut and trim the banks. So cut and trim the banks, and then we go and do the same around the front. And this is a car park I power brushed a couple of weeks ago, looking all nice. Job number 5, village green, all cut with stander. Gone over it twice. Once I've mulched it, and then I've lifted the deck up just to get rid of a bit of the grass. So let's put on a nice finish. Job number 6, the village hall.
striped up, all
done for a fortnight. So 4:45, 6 jobs down, and basically just a recap of today. Job number 1 was the site I go to fortnightly through the summer. We kill the paths, just keep on top of the pruning, and just go around and do a few each time, and the site always looks tidy. Then, like I say, students after that, a couple of student jobs. The second one, you saw the difficult access. It's tricky to get a mower around there, but we managed with the little hater, and then we cut the big area with the other machine. But same again, they always look smart when we've finished, and little bits of pruning each time. The last company who had them students used to prune twice a year. I prefer just to do a shrub bed each time. It's less rubbish to take away. The site always looks tidy, customers happier, and the footpaths aren't all blocked and everything. Same with the weed killing. I prefer little and often on the weed killing rather than leaving it for 3 months and then there being huge weeds. So that was 1, 2, that was 3. Then it was on to the industrial site at Thornaby, which was just to cut and trim of that bank, and then cut a few other bits on the side. Just very repetitive. What I did afterwards was lifted the blade up just to get rid of some of that grass. Job number 5, the village green, looks quite good. They have an event there, I believe Saturday, so they asked me to come in because it wasn't due to be done till Monday. Same again, I cut it at 1.75 inches, but because mulching mowers, even in the driest of weathers, mulching mowers don't mulch as in mulch and leave nothing behind. I'm not bothered what anybody says, they leave grass behind. You can't. Grass doesn't just miraculously disappear like people think it does. You see people put these posts on and they're all fake, where they've gone over an area with a mulching mower, and unless you're cutting that grass every 4 or 5 days, it is physically impossible. So what I do is afterwards, I lifted the blades up to 3 inches so the machine is above what you've actually cut, and then what you do is, as you go back over the grass, you're blowing it around so it's got a hairdryer effect, and that's why it left no grass behind. If I'd have left it just the one cut, you'd have seen a lot of grass on the surface. So that's what mulching mowers do. Regular cutting 4 or 5 days, you'll get rid of it, but you can't get rid of grass without boxing it off. That's what box off mowers are for. Mulching mowers are good, but they've got the limits. And then last was the village hall number 6 job there, which was straightforward. Put some stripes down, trim around the edge, and that's it. That's a fortnightly village hall. So it's been another fun day, busy day. It's been a dry day as well. It was raining when we come out this morning, so we've avoided the rain. But just to thank you to a couple of people. Everybody knows I'm struggling at the moment with various things, work related. Andrew Greatbatch and Mike Caddick both dropped me a message, just initially asking why there was no videos up last week, and then seeing if everything was okay, and I just explained that it is stressful and hectic with the new regime I've got in for the next few months to combat the shortage of staff. So thank you for that. And also the agony aunt, which is Greg Francis, who I had a good chat with last night as well, just about the trade and everything else. So that was good to have a chat last night with him about various things sort of to do with the business and stuff. So yes, thank you to everybody, and like I say, that is Wednesday done. Go back again now, load up, and get ready for tomorrow. So we just same again, straight in and out in the morning. That's the plan. So we'll try again. We'll try and get a full week's footage if things go to plan of just where we are with stuff. But that's Wednesday done. Morning watchers, Thursday morning, and this many years ago was a cricket field, which we bring the tractor and gangs in for, and then all these small areas just here where you can't get in, play areas and stuff, we just shoot around the edge with our stander. Same again, old bowling green, and same again, we just come in, cut it and trim the mounds out. So that is the job for a couple of hours this morning. Grass up here grows like mad, everywhere else has been steady, but this site, I don't know what it is, it just, you do get areas like that, but it just grows mad. So we'll get cracking. So that's the small areas cut and trimmed. As you can see, a lot of grass left on the surface, but this park's one of the parks that just grows like mad. So done the best we can, and the best finish, trimmed all the edges tidy. On to the next one. Next task is cutting the village greens. Sorry, village shops. Another one all tidy for a fortnight, and a bit of rain in the sky, and I'm not complaining because even if it absolutely bounced down today, I would still be cutting because the ground is so hard. We've had very little rain, so it can do what it likes really. If I have to get waterproofed up, I'll be quite happy, because it might cut down on the watering I've got to do tonight. So there's some of our flower beds looking a bit dry and in need of a bit of water tonight. And these are the village greens. Like I said, today's mainly about big grass cutting, so we're going to get on with these. We're going to get on with these village greens now with the forest. Well, I'm saying big areas. They're not huge, but that is the next plan of action. So Thursday is pretty much a big cutting day. You could say boring day, because although some people will be over the moon to stand on that Z1 all day, I prefer to be doing split up jobs, so the hay and mowing, bit of pruning, bit of weeding, etc, etc. It's not my ideal thing to sit on that, to stand on that, or to sit on a mower all day. I like a bit of variety. So that's another shift done. So we've done parks, we've done village greens, we've done sort of centres of villages where the hater was with that's sort of the centre of that village where there's some nice hanging baskets and the grass looks tidy and everything. So it's been a bit of variety, a bit of everything, but too much of the large cutting in one day, unfortunately. So Thursday finished, and another hectic day. The sun has been shining, we've had a few showers, and it's on to Friday. And what does Friday have in store? Friday has in store a bit of domestic in the morning. It has in store some cutting on commercial again, a couple of commercial jobs to do, and then it has a cemetery. There's a little bit of work in the cemetery, which could be the first job in the morning actually, because it means that I can get that done sort of really early, say a 6 AM type start. The cemetery, and then the other thing I've got to do is put some signs up. One of my customers is having problems on a village green at the moment with people parking, so they've invested in some signs, and the plan is to put some signs in for them tomorrow if I get time. I'll nip off and get some postcrete. So another busy day, lots to do, but ticking it off and keeping the money coming in, and managing these, keeping the mindset right, because these long shifts and this extra work that I've took onto these shoulders, you've got to keep your mindset right. That's the key, because if you let it eat away at you, and your mind plays tricks on you and starts telling you can't do it when you can, and it's just a matter of focusing on jobs and stuff and keep battling on. So that is what we are going to do. So thanks, and we will see you tomorrow, hopefully. Morning watchers, Friday morning, and I've just done the first job of the day with the Z1, which was cutting a cemetery. Didn't get any footage because it was a bit early and I've got a busy day. Next it's on to 2 domestics for company people we work for. First one, I think I did a video a few weeks ago, regular garden maintenance, basically cutting the grass and doing a few bits of pruning and stuff. And the second one is a bit of grass cutting, and then a bit of a paddock to cut with the Z1 out the back, where they keep a horse at certain times of year, but at the moment there's nothing there, so we're cutting the grass. So that's where we're heading next, and then this afternoon we have got some signs to put in. Got a little bit of pruning to do in the cemetery and a little bit of grass cutting to finish the day off, and we are on public footpaths tomorrow. You may have noticed the grey hairs have gone. I managed to get in the hairdressers on the way home last night, well, on the way back to the unit. Managed to find the barbers was open and there was nobody sat in the seat, so I thought I'll pull up and nip it now rather than spend 2 hours another day sitting with 4 or 5 people in. So managed to get rid of the grey hairs, and hopefully that'll take the stress away as well. So like I say, we'll get these domestics sorted, a little bit of nice gardening, and then it'll be on to the afternoon, so stay tuned. So this is the Little Nofton Cemetery. So basically what I mean by that is just keep snipping bits off every time you come, or when you've got half an hour spare. It just keeps everything tidy rather than having to do a big visit. So I had half an hour spare before the next job, so I've nipped in here, tidied all these up. A little bit of hedge over there, just improves the area. Bedding plants are starting to look well now over there. View of the cemetery, all looking nice and trim and tidy. And just had the footpath tarmac, so it's cut down on the weed spray, and I think you'll agree that that looks better than just gravel that we had before. So yeah, progress. So just heading to one of our jobs at the moment. Exciting times ahead on this one, and I shall show you why in a minute. We've got a trencher and lots of drainage pipe, some gravel outside, some nice top dressing there. Although the wagon driver hasn't done the best of jobs, making a mess there. Why he didn't just reverse in the gate instead of having to spin all the way around the field is beyond me, but that's wagon drivers, they're a different breed. I mean, it's a big access out there. He could have just reversed in and tipped it, instead he's come in, he's done a 3-point turn on the grass, he's done a donut, sorry, on the grass. What a twat. And then the rest of the equipment. And the plan is, these fields which struggle a bit in the winter, they get a bit wet, the plan is these pitches are going to be drained, so hopefully we'll be able to use them 12 months a year, except in frost and ice. When you forget to do a video, these are a couple of posts installed for some no parking signs on the grass, which we will be putting up next week. Another job done.